Hello everyone and welcome to the C5 action from the Jose Jimenez Rodriguez. I wanted to try and see if I could get that one right. From Mexico City, and we have just came in for qualifying. At the moment we have 14 drivers, which yes is unfortunately on the low side, but hopefully we can still have a good race. We are expecting Frax to join as well, but something else we're also expecting, as I've just been informed, is possible rain at the end of the race, so that could spice things up right at the end. So let's see what happens. But right now, after the 1-2 finish last week out for the Red Bulls, with the Gerbs winning with the fastest lap, the championship has definitely changed around a little bit. Cranky Bot, who finished second in last week's race, leads the championship from Ralph, who couldn't make it this week, so that's going to make it difficult for him. It could be by the end of this race that it's a 1-2 between the Red Bulls in the championship. Who knows which one? We will find out. Should probably still be Cranky Bot, with the gap between the two Red Bulls at 13 points, but we will see. In fourth is the second, the McLarens, who had an excellent comeback race, who is here tonight. We'll go on board for a second with him, and he's in an all-out battle with Bogrovsky, equal on points with the Williams driver. Let's go to Gerbs and see what he can pull off on his first lap. I'll get the telemetry up for you guys. I'll also switch over as soon as I get a second, so I can read the comments you guys are leaving. But here we go. Gerbs, let's see how he can go. We've actually already got a yellow, but that may be people slowing down in the final sector. Coming through the S's section, or beginning the SE section, as you can see, Frax has now joined, so he'll take his car, and hopefully he'll be fine for the rest of the session. So Gerbs, he's coming to the stadium section now. He's got a racing point not too far ahead, but he should still be fine. Comes to the final corner, a little bit of wheel spin on the rear, but it should still be good. Let's see, a 1:15.3, that's a good thing. It must be Dan, let's see. Yeah, Dan's coming through. The Prof has went into second place. And still there is Dan, is a little bit behind. Good lap though from the AlphaTauri driver. His teammate is coming through into the stadium as well, so we'll go on there already. Quite frantic at the moment. Now, as I take my chance to have a little look, the McLaren driver takes the pole position at the moment, and Fifi beats his teammates. So sorry, just looking at the comments, Enzo is in the comments and he's cheering on as Bogrovsky sits a slow time at the moment. Let's hope he can do better than that later. Hus FB, he's set a time as well. He's a little bit behind. These are all in softs so far. Dan's put in, yeah, Dan's there. So let's see, Skipper's a little bit behind as well. Let's see who's further around. Maverick's doing an interesting medium run. Yesterday on C4 someone tried that as well, and it didn't work out too well with everybody else doing soft runs. Let's see, yeah, it's seemingly the same. Dispenu as well in the chat. Callie is back and he is getting ready to have to pit because he's invalidated his lap. Who's in front of him? It's the Haas driver, also invalidated. Mighty Frack still in the pits. Crankybot, he's on an out lap, so he's not going to get traffic. That might be clever, as everyone else is on a slope. Maverick might be having another shot. Callie obviously coming into the pits. Yeah, let's go on board with championship leader right now. Oh god, I don't like putting bets on, but I suspect probably Crankybot will be in with a shout, probably for the win as well as his teammate. Although the prof just put a pole lap in on old tyres. So yeah, so I suspect the two Red Bulls could be on that podium. And really that third place or even second, depending how it plays out, could really go to anyone. Anyone that has a good race. Last week it was Bogarowski. The strategy ended up working out perfectly for him. It could have been Annoyed Gamer last week as well, so I think good chance that it could be the other McLaren. It could. I think I'll put my bets probably on the two Red Bulls and the McLaren for the podium. Although being a Williams fan and being a Williams driver in C3, I would absolutely love to see a Williams on that podium, but that's just a bit of biasness, as Crankybot actually had a bit of... It really seemed like he was struggling through that lap, but he has absolutely blasted the entire field by half a second. On board with that lap, I was genuinely thinking Crankybot's struggling here, and he's actually smacked it on pole position at the moment. A Williams 1-2 now, that would be the day. Who would win out of the two Williams though? Who would win out of the two Williams? Bogarowski or Callie? Or Callie. Obviously, Heinz, you're supporting Callie, as he always supports you, except from when you win. C4, so we'll see what happens. Dan, he's in his Ferrari and he's on a fast lap. Or he started his fast lap. So we'll see. We'll just do a couple of off-board shots, because actually they can look pretty good through this, through the, God, on this track, there we go. And it's about a 10th up for Dan, so he's feeling a bit better this time around. There we go, that goes a bit. I do love that little corner. I don't know what it is, it's just how you can take it so quickly, and yet and now we get into the S's section. Oh, I think Phoebe's lost it ahead. Yeah, that's unfortunate, and that's slowed up Dan, and Dan has invalidated his lap trying to avoid the AlphaTauri's wreckage, I think. Mighty Frack seems to have lost connection. Milo, on the other hand, he's coming to the end of his lap. He's went ahead of PV, who's crashed out, unfortunately for him. Crankybot, he can just sit in the pits for a long time. Let's go on board with his teammate. Milo, one of the difficulty for Gerbs there through the first complex of corners. He'll definitely have lost time. Let's see how much. Oh, over a second. He's not likely to get that back. Now he's actually invalidated the lap. Milo letting guys through. They're actually on outlaps. Hustle making a very late move to the pits. Dan just making his way back to the pits. Let's keep an eye on Annoyed Gamer. I discussed him last week. Was having an excellent race. Just a few misjudgments at Monaco that would happen and drops you right back down the field when you have to pit. Kelly's out of the way. Here's a lot easier, but still can find it into the wall or somehow, or some sort of crash, as the AlphaTauri driver of Fifi found out. And Annoyed Gamer slots in just behind his teammate. Prof, he's out. He's slightly up on his time right now. He's heading into the stadium section. Let's see, has he got enough time to make up here? He seems a bit deep into that, but kind of got the apex. Anyway, see what he can do. He's in second place right now, and they're on used tyres. So let's see. He did improve his time by a tenth and a half. Might be just the right track for. Okay, does Annoyed Gamer know he's got a fast coming Bogarovsky behind him? He does get out of the way, but right in the middle of the S's bit, here comes Bogarovsky. 3/10 up, big improvements. At the moment it wouldn't get him into the, no, it would just about get him into the top 10, top 9 even. So let's see, what's his improvement. He takes a wider line into the final corner. That probably lost him some time. He goes into 9th at the moment, but there's a decent gap between him and Annoyed Gamer. Let's go on to the McLaren. I wanted to go on later in his lap, but he seems to have had a bit of a bad lap, so we give that one up. Prof will be really enjoying it right now. Unlike the Haas, who seems to be struggling, Callie and Frax in the pits. I'm not sure if he's had the chance to rejoin. Yeah, I think Frax won't be causing glitches unless he somehow joins like between qualifying and the race, or during the formation lap, or of course during the race. Sometimes you get the timing glitch. It's not often I see much of a glitch because of rejoining during qualifying, although I think you may be referring to the incident in Australia where you qualified on pole and sorted last, which still disappoints me. The Haas drivers just decided to say, I'll start last anyway. Yeah, he's just giving up. He's had enough time to do another run, as Dan is about a 10th up. Let's see how much he'll be up once he gets through the S's. He's about 4/10 up as Prof takes pole position at the very least right now. He just keeps doing laps on his softs, and he just get quicker and quicker and quicker. As what a lap by Dan, making up loads of time through that final sector and throws himself up into P3. But yeah, Cranky Bots now realise Prof is on a roll, and he needs to chase. It's Milo, he's in the pits right now, but yeah, he's doing not bad. I don't think this is a fast lap for Gerbs. I really hope not. As I say, one of our other commentators, we got 3 commentators in this race. Milo, who often is doing C2, I believe, commentary, and some others too, whenever. Kali the same, and Bogarovsky too, as well as reserving and whatever else. A lot busy guys. Gerbs, I believe, now on a fast lap. Sorry to miss Prof's fast lap, by the way. That's me just flicking to him as an apology for some reason. We'll keep an eye on Gerbs, because I think he can really do well. The difficulty, as has just been pointed out in chat, is if you're on those 3 lap old softs, which, as I've said, seemingly just get quicker and quicker as Gerbs just keeps the rear after it looked like he was going to slide out. You're not going to really last in the race. That's a definite 2-stop that he's got himself on there. Although I do believe it might be a very different. I think a lot of the drivers might be doing a 2-stop anyway. As we've seen a good mixture of strategies in C4 last night between 1-stop, 2-stop. Outside the top 10 was planned 1-stops, of course, starting on mediums. So we'll see what happens. We'll get more of an idea of that in the race as Gerbs comes to finish his what's likely to be his final lap. He improves by 2/10. He goes into 3rd as Cranky. Oh, he's not going to be Cranky after that. Oh, he might be. Is he still up, or... because it showed him about 7/10 up. But then it showed him down. I'm not... yeah, he's not done. I could maybe... he'll go for another... I think that was an outlap, and the screen's just not showing me that as an outlap, which is a bit annoying. This is the battle for pole, so that's what we'll keep an eye on at the moment. But there is other people out there, so we just need to make sure that we've got our eye on the ball and mention anything that I missed. But yes, Cranky Bot, that's a horrid camera angle. He's coming through, finished that first sector on purple. Nice flow through there, and now to the S's. See how he does now. He does lose the rear, but manages to get the curb, but he's ran wide again. I don't know, that doesn't seem to be a very quick way through it, although I would have said that before. He is about a 10th down. That definitely wouldn't help him, but he might have time to make up in this final sector in the stadium. Let's see, that's qualifying done, so Gerbs is 4th and Dan's 3rd at the moment, and Cranky is at least 2nd. Prof, is he up? I think he might be up in his time. This could really work for him. Milo, he's out as well, but he's a way further back than Prof. Prof isn't up, but he might want to be up on his time, and he invalidates the lap. I think the AlphaTauri driver will have the pole position wrapped up. But the issue here is Milo is quicker than Annoy Gamer, but I think Annoy Gamer is actually still in a fast lap. Bogarovsky is ahead of that. He's invalidated, and so is... well, that's a bit annoying. That's a bit annoying, really, isn't it? Like, Bogarovsky and Annoy Gamer are both invalidated, and Milo might have been held behind them. It seemed close enough to me to being held behind. It seemed like he could have been going quite quick. It's we'll see. I think that's more a conversation for afterwards. And if there is anything that people feel like reply, well, there's always steers. So let's have a little look. So unfortunately, well, actually, you know what? 7th after crashing out after doing one run in quali isn't actually half bad for Fifi, so he'll be relatively pleased that he didn't plummet down the grid order. Michael, I don't understand why he seemed to have given up with 4 minutes still to go. I would have thrown on another set of softs. If I had any left, of course, that might be the issue. Might have fractured, obviously, with the disconnection. But we have Prof on pole, Crankybot in second, Gerbs in third, Dan fourth, McLaren of Armsmith in fifth, Milo in sixth, Fifi seventh, Bogarovsky eighth, Annoyed Gamer ninth, Cali 10th, Maverick starting 11th, Huss will be in 12th, Skipper 13th, Mighty Frax, if he can join, will be starting 14th, and the Haas in 15th. And, well, at least we'll be starting the race dry. But I have, as I said earlier, been informed that there may be rain coming for the end of the race. The radar is showing some light rain at the end of the race, which, again, as I said, may spice things up. It may not be enough to change onto the change tyres. So it's almost the exact opposite of what happened to C3, where it was like almost monsoon conditions to begin that race, and then it got drier, and by the final lap it was completely dry, but there was no point in pitting off of the intermediates that everyone had on at that point. As some people found out, pitting onto the softs really early. So it's the opposite of that, is when or if you need to change onto the intermediates at the end of the race. So it's looking like 2 stops all the way through. Is anybody not on? Okay, everyone seems to be on 2 stops. That's a very, very different from C4 last night. So by interest, I then go on to the only person that's going to attempt the 1 stop, and that's the Renault of Hassel, who is on the mediums and looks to take them halfway through, but a bit less than halfway through, and then put on the hards to the end. Whilst it looks like, at least according to the predicted strategies that the game's showing us, which are the strategies that guys would have doing it, both strategy options are 2 stops. I expect to see that from maybe the top 10, but the ones outside the top 10 I'm a little bit surprised about. That is true. If the rain comes early enough, it could be the fastest. Yeah, it's, and I get what Ice is also saying, but I also disagree with what Ice is saying. It really depends on your pace. If you got enough pace to make a 2-stop work, it can work. That's how it worked out for Ice last night, as well as the safety car. Actually, me thinking the safety car made that a bit harder for them to get through. So yeah, but if everyone's relatively close on pace, then it's not the best strategy. But then again, as we've seen in qualifying, they aren't very. There is rather gaps between the drivers, which I hope we don't see in the race, because I want to see some action just like C4 provided last night. Right, so let's see. Almost everyone on the same strategy, and it's 5 lights are there. And away we go here in Mexico, and Prof gets a good start, but Crankybot is away alongside. We can see the whole field from this shot, which is great. Crankybot takes the lead, and Prof turns in, and it was Dan, but there's actually absolute carnage at the back. Everyone stopped on track. Oh my gosh, what's happened there? Maverick's cut across, ended up off into Hassel, so that medium strategy definitely won't work. We've got a battle between Prof and Gerbs. And Gerbs got a 5-second severe collision. It's because the safety car's out. The virtual safety car's out. How is everyone all back together? Yeah, Calais. Poor Calais. He's way back down in 14th. Trying to pick up. This is going to really. I'm surprised it wasn't a full safety car. Calais actually has a full front wing. Milo's been badly affected by this as well. Bolgarovski's lost quite a few positions. We have now got the race back underway. Dan somehow ended up back in 11th. Prof is about to be about to overtake Gerbs. And it's Dan, Maverick, Milo, and Prof didn't overtake. Yeah, so sorry, that was and Haas in the pits as well. Milo going on to hards. Gerbs, he'll be annoyed for that 5-second penalty because someone was trying to overtake him when the VSC came out. So we'll see. I imagine. Oh no, that penalty will be served at some point in this race, so there's no way for him to get that removed either. It's really gutting. Like seriously, that is start of a race, which is already just 15. Oh, we've got an overtake going on, and it's the McLaren, but the AlphaTauri is still on the inside, keeping the position through the stadium. Nicely defended by Fifi. Well done. Gerbs will not be happy. Saying that, I'm pretty sure Dan won't be happy either. I don't think there would have been any DRS there. Now there should be. Hassel already with a 3-second penalty. It's actually lap 3. So DRS should be able to be used. Anyway, Cranky Bot is starting to pull away from Gerbs, and he's now going to have to try and fend off. So the issue for Ralph, who couldn't make it this week, is that he's sitting in second, not too far behind Cranky Bot after losing the lead in Monaco. Looking like, well, his closest championship contenders are in first and second in this race now, and his teammate, who's chasing on Fifi, gets the overtake now. Yeah, I would back out of that if I was the AlphaTauri, and he has. He's now in fourth as well. Prof, he's still there, but he may have some things to answer to for turn one. We'll see. Fifi's got another run though on the McLaren, taking the outside line, going round the outside of the McLaren. Nicely done to get the position back. Good fight between these two drivers, which is actually going to allow Skipper and Annoyed Gamer to close in. Later on the brakes is the McLaren, getting really back up to the gearbox there, and we shall see that's basically together, one together. I don't know if the Frax is back. He might actually be back, and Callie gets the place. Luckily for him, he didn't have any damage from what happened, so he can he's still basically in this race, which is good. And the McLaren dives that up the inside, but the AlphaTauri trying to battle back, switchback manoeuvre in the middle in the middle, side by side through the final corner. Let's see, that's going to give Annoy Gamer an excellent run, I think. Let's see what he can do. He's already side by side with Fifi. Fifi also getting the slipstream, but he's got nowhere to go. He uses that slipstream to get past Annoy Gamer. But it might not help him too much. That's the McLaren starting to pull away. Skipper's on this too. Oh, here we go. It's the Prof. He's made a move and he's got through on Gerbs. Let's see if he can chase after Crankybot. So I wonder if this will ever calm down. I've not got a... Don't believe it will. So what have we got in terms of actual gaps? Annoyed Gamer just getting past Guy Skipper. Annoyed Gamer, that was probably his only that was his chance to get past Fifi, but then he started losing throughout the rest of the lap. Bogarowski, he is waiting to pounce as well, so let's have a look. Gerbs might be looking, no, he's a bit too far back. As in the end of turn one, he's broke much later. Okay, that's giving room and a half. Prof gives a lot of room from far back, and that's how Gerbs takes that place back. He was being ultra careful there. Probably too much, and I don't often say that. But yeah, and that was... We've now got Fifi back on the back of the McLaren. He's got some speed on him as he got away from Annoy Gamer and Skipper, who now have Bogarowski to contend with. So let's have a look. Bogarowski's lost a bit of quite a lot of time now, and Annoy Gamer is falling off the back of Skipper. Fifi's also managed to do the same. So what's actually going to become the battle? It's actually this battle which Gerbs has just ruined by pitting for P2. He's the earliest to pit for definite. So let's see, he'll lose quite a few positions but should still come out ahead of Calais, I think. He's in a battle with the Haas who didn't set a qualifying time, and in fact Gerbs comes out even behind that. He'll come out ahead of Dan though, the first of the early stoppers, unfortunately for them. There's a massive gap though between Calais and Bogarowski. Let's see if he can close that down, that would be nice. Yeah, so we've got gaps. That's boring, come on guys. So if Prof, you just slow down a bit. Yeah, that's nice, well done. A bit of a lock-up. I'm not actually hoping that they slow down, it's just I want to have some action. I think, and actually Prof pits, so let's see. Gerbs did put on mediums, I imagine Prof will do the same. Yep, it's the mediums going on, and Bogarowski, he's up to 5th. This looks like drag the softs as long as they go and put on the hards to me. If people have already made that decision to put those mediums on. I don't even know if that's even possible. So the gap between Crankybot and the McLaren of Am Smith is about 6.5 seconds. That's quite a big gap really. Now that we've still got the AlphaTauri of Fifi, he's doing a really good job keeping up with the very fast McLaren ahead. It was in the championship fight. Or one good result will definitely bring him back into the championship fight. Oh, who's that? It's Bogarovsky. No, Bogarovsky's lost it in the S's. Into the wall. That's exactly the wall I hit in qualifying in C3. I don't know why you'd want to go close. Gerbs is overtaking under yellows. He needs to get that place back. It's a virtual safety car. Wait, what? It's just said there's been a collision between Michael and Gerbs, but we didn't see that on the camera at all. So that's strange, but yeah, Gerbs overtook, at least from what I could see, under yellow flag conditions. No circumstances really is that allowed. I wonder if Gerbs will get the place back when the VSC comes in. I don't know how the 5-second penalty came to be either. Sad to see Bogarovsky be the first exit of the race. Having a good race, he was. Well, that was out for almost a full lap, and Gerbs just blasts on. Cranky Bot and Fifi into the pits, which means the McLaren leads. Yeah, I don't see how Gerbs can really argue that one with the overtake, unless they're coming out into the middle of the battle of Prof and Kali. Kali just trying to be careful. He's gonna try and keep it into the apex. He does, and yeah, no touch. Well, good job, guys. And that's going to allow. Is that going to allow Cranky Pot? Cranky, the AlphaTauri's still there, but he's not anymore. Kali loses it, or gets touched, and right into the path of the AlphaTauri. And that is, well, I'll say one thing, it's lucky that he was probably pitting anyway, but that's allowed Cranky Bot through, that's allowed Gerbs through as well, and that's the McLaren in to the pits. Let's have a look where he comes out. He's going to come out just behind Gerbs, and obviously there comes the AlphaTauri. Fifi going to plummet down the order now. Kali, I don't know what happened with Kali necessarily, as the Ferraris go into battle. I say battle as Annoyed Gamer just takes the place quite comfortably from Dan. Skipper on new softs, so he's actually done his first stop, and he's came out in 5th, so he's in a net 5th. Dan yet to stop, so he's more than likely not made that too difficult for Annoyed Gamer. But yeah, Gerbs is definitely with that early stop is nearly pulled in on Cranky Bot. No penalty anymore, he served that in the pits, so without that penalty he would have took the lead of the race. Well, not the lead actually, as Prof. Of course, Prof has actually managed to take full advantage of it, staying out later. coming in earlier on the mediums and not having a penalty to take the lead of the race, but he's got Crankybot bearing down on him. That would have been one hell of a dive bomb, Crankybot. Dan now pitting, Crankybot losing the back end, probably will lose any chance of getting past into turn 4. I was literally going through my head the corner, so if I've made a mistake there and it's not turn 4, somebody can correct me. Crankybot's getting very close now. This is a battle for net lead. Let's just have a look at let's just have a look at stops. Yeah, this, I don't think Prof would have thought at any point he'd be in this position, but he is now. The race started with a massive bit of chaos through the first 3 corners, settled down, 4 people more than others affected, but actually with the massive gaps that have started to appear, they've actually closed in on quite a few people, but they may need to make different pitting, like Milo is actually in 8th. So let's see, and it's the McLaren gets past Gerbs. They'll have a fight off for that place, but it is a trade-off as the McLaren's on the softs, has to pit again. Gerbs on the mediums. He might have a set of another set of mediums or a set of softs depending on his strategy. Again, Cranky cannot get past the AlphaTauri. There's some people on hards already, as we can see. Milo seems to be doing not bad on those hards at the moment. Oh, that's a late lunge, barely makes the corner. I don't really. I should switch to the AlphaTauri's view of that one. That was very, very late on the brakes. I seemingly think there was a touch, definitely, to make that corner. Crankybot needs to be a bit more careful. That's a second move on the straight as well. Luckily, nothing bad coming from it, and Prof gets back through. And now, because of the battling, it's now became very close in the top 4. Skipper a good ways off, but he'll close in if this keeps up. These guys just slowing each other down, absolutely not helping each other's races. The top 4 within seconds of each other, all within DRS. Now we're getting some excitement here as the Prof continues to keep that position. Crankybot hopefully will learn that that dive didn't particularly help him. He's actually losing places. Maybe it's the McLaren that'll have a go. He's got a lot more ERS to use. And up the inside, takes what he can. Crankybot realises he ain't getting back through in the stadium. And he will be now. He's not going to expect any help from his teammate. He's in a championship battle with his teammate. So let's see what Crankybot does. He's following in the slipstream with the DRS, no overtake. He's just not got enough left, and yeah, here we go. They're starting to get close again, but I don't think they'll be close enough for any sort of safe move anyway. DRS using it's the battle for first out. The 2 Red Bulls. I think Gerbs is slightly. I mean, it's difficult to say really because they're all so close. But Gerbs is probably just slightly off the pace of the front 3. But again, anything could happen. We almost did see it with Crankybot and Prof. So let's see, as this is a move for the lead. Keeps the possession, Prof. He'll be back down into second. And actually, the McLaren should start, or could start, pulling away now, with him being on soft tyres. And all of that battling, Skipper's made up about a second on the guys ahead. He was probably more than that from before. Let's see, the two Red Bulls. Not quite close enough now. Prof, he's really closing in on the McLaren, but he's now got a 3-second time penalty, the same as Gerbs. Crankybot's in a good position that way, he's not got penalties. There's a yellow flag somewhere, but I want to watch this. It's not going to be close enough for Cranky, and this battle will continue to rage on. He's going to try white round, but that's just not quick enough to pull that sort of move off. We'll see how close they can follow through the S's this time. Still a good 20 laps to go, so this race ain't anywhere near over. Still not even halfway through. Gerbs, he's just waiting for a mistake. It looks closer than what the timing sheets actually say. As the McLaren starts to ease away, not particularly smashing away, but he is easing away. Here's the DRS. He's using what overtake he's got left. Will he be close enough to make the move? We're looking from the chase, not the chase cam, but the front wing cam. And he gets through on Prof, but Prof will now have... no, he doesn't, because this is a double DRS area. So Crankybot keeps the DRS to pull away. Doesn't really manage to pull that far away. Now it's the guys at front that have no penalties. Skipper only now 6 and a bit seconds behind. It's starting to close in. And there's a mistake from the Prof. It's just going to remove him from the DRS, but he's still got Gerbs behind him, who, if he wants to be in the shout for this win, needs to get past the AlphaTauri quickly at this point. Can he do it? He'll be in the DRS of Prof. Whilst Prof will not be having the benefit of DRS, he's also got the benefit of having tons of overtake left. He's going to have a massive straight line speed advantage, which he does. Is it big enough? He can make the move, he's going for it. He makes it into turn 1 and takes the position from the Prof. Now you can use the DRS to pull away, but of course the AlphaTauri has the slipstream. Maverick into the pits. That moves Milo up into 7th. And Hassel up into 8th as well. He's dropping right down the field now. As Prof is actually still keeping up pretty well with Gerbs though, so might not be so easy for Gerbs to just pull away, as the Prof makes a massive mistake, but it will actually give him a bit more speed on this straight, but he's nowhere near close enough. But if he can stay close through the stadium, then the DRS on the straight with Gerbs, that could help him. He's lost a bit of time, gained a bit back. It's that kind of back and forth time. He's gaining through the final corner, which means he's got a better run. Not as much overtake. He's now got DRS. I think has he got to have enough of a run on the Red Bull? Just like Gerbs pulled out the slipstream very early, so this would have to be a very late move. I probably wish he stayed on that slipstream a bit more, but if he gets a good exit, which he has, and Gerbs hasn't got a good exit, he's got a bit of an issue on the rear. Let's see, will he make a lunge? No, he's sticking behind the Red Bull of Gerbs. And now he's going to have to wait until they are close enough. He's got really close there, having to kind of lift off a little bit. It's 4/10, now less than 4/10, but the dirty air will start to come into effect really badly when you get this close to another driver through this section. Yeah, he had to lift off, so he didn't get a corner cut. He's already got a penalty through that. It's now a 2.5 seconds gap for Aniseth. It's almost 3 seconds for Gerbs to his teammate now. Yeah, I was probably right on the point that I made earlier, that Gerbs is just not quite as quick, at least at the front two, but he seems to be on pace with Prof, who is now side by side down the straight. Let's see who can brake later into the first corner. It's keeping it on the apex. Nicely done by Gerbs, who does keep the position, and look at that, it's raining. The rain's coming down and Prof cannot keep the position. Hassles into the pits. That won't be for Inters this early. Oh, I think the McLaren's made one of the best decisions he could have. 2 soft runs. Who needs the medium tyres? Take them to when you can put on the Inters, and this could really work well for him. But then again, let's get back on with Prof, who's got a great run through the S's, but he's not going to be close enough into the stadium. Just going to have to fall through the stadium. Now we're into the final corner, and Gerbs again, it's going to become a bit more difficult. Hustle did go into the Inters. Is it changing that quickly? I don't think it could. Oh, Crankybot taking a gamble that he didn't have to take, with the position that he holds in the championship. And he pits onto the Inter straight away. So does Gerbs. Is Skipper going to do that? I think, is everyone taking that gamble? Is it really going to get that wet that quickly? Kind of makes sense for Milo to just take that gamble. He's on the hards. He's done a very good job on the hards. We have to keep an eye on the gaps and how this actually shapes out. To me it seems like very early pit stops. And let's see, yes, Skipper's losing a handful of time. He should never have been overtaken by Fifi, but he has been. The 2 Red Bulls are throwing a good chance away, and with Callie, he's coming back into it. Dan, he's not too far away. You've got to pit into the right tyre at the right time. You cannot just gamble like that. Regardless if they are now, like, it might just be okay for the Red Bulls, but they probably are going to lose any chance of winning this race. Because you can really keep those drives for a while as Callie gets through at the beginning of the S's, and Skipper can't even make it through the S's. He's got Maverick right behind. He's going to overtake before, but almost before the DRS. But there we go, Maverick's through. Skipper's never going to be able to brake on time. He almost misses the braking zone, even though he braked much earlier. And Dan's through as well on the dries. And there we go. Look how much time that the AlphaTauri's made up. That's about 6 seconds he's made up in 1 lap. You can defend all you like, Red Bull, but it's just not going to work for you. He's sliding all over the place. That'll actually cost the AlphaTauri time. He's now lost his own rear because he can't get past Gerbs, but this will be it. He actually has to make a proper overtake, and Gerbs goes deep into the corner and needs to give it up. He didn't, and nearly caused an incident. So now here's something for you. The mediums are now quicker than those softs. Uh-oh, here we go. This is what I expected to start happening. Incidents. Calai's had an off, actually, I think. And Skipper's got back past. The Inter's now quicker. Not necessarily. Gerv's still struggling. I think you could have actually made a move there, but on the caution side, backing out of that one. But not through the final corner. He's going. No, he's not. No, he's not. That was clever. There's no need to risk that. Gerv's still a lot more squirmy with the back end than what Maverick is, and Maverick is going to overtake the Red Bull. Might not quite work out as well for Maverick, because the Inters are starting to come into their own, I think, by the looks of it. But let's go on to the Prof. He's looking to take back the lead of the race. He needs to be very careful. Yeah, Calais had to pit. He's pitted on his soft. Yeah. Calais is pitted onto new softs, not the Inters, and Prof takes the lead of the race, and it's a Noid Gamer who is sitting in. Oh, there we go. That's where it looks like that's the crossover. It's just hit perfectly for the annoyed one. So Callie's made a massive mistake, I think, going on to new softs, as now it's time for the Inters. Yeah, what did you expect to happen? Cut to the corner by that amount. Cranky still had the speed to get himself back into third place, but he is now 30 full seconds. No, sorry, he's not 30 full seconds. He's 3 seconds off of second. He's more than 30 seconds off of the lead. Will this be when Prof pits? He seems to be able to have kept those tyres going a lot better than some others. Maverick's still going on the softs. Callie is now in for these Inters. Wishing he'd done that the lap before. Of course, let's see, there's the Inters. Yeah, they are. And for the Prof, who's lost about 2 seconds this lap, let's see if he can come out of the lead still. This could be good. Let's keep an eye on this. And oh, there we go, there's something else to add to it. Smith got a 5-second speeding penalty. So now Prof has the advantage on the pins. This is now our battle. And it's still it's a good big lead. Where's the yellow? It's Maverick, I think. He can't make it through. Oh, he's stayed out far too long on the dries. He can't make it through the corners now. He just about got that slowed down, I think. There you go. Cranky Bot lost a lot of time through pitting. Early. He's still close enough at the moment to take that, take a lead. Take second, sorry, but not quite close enough to take the lead. That's Prof's right now. There's a lot of gaps. The rain is likely to make that worse as well, rather than allow them to catch up. Everyone's going to start struggling through the S's. It is nearly impossible. I don't know how on earth Cranky Bot has managed to do what he's done, but he's ran out of, not ran out of ERS, but he's actually ran out of the ERS deployment, as the mighty Frax is about to be, he has already been lapped. Prof actually doing a good job. He's very looking quite quick in these conditions. Yeah, he's now got a 6.5 second lead. Annoyed Gamer not too far behind. He's watching CrankyBot, who if CrankyBot thinks the AI is going to get out of his way, he can think again. He's going to have to pass the Mighty Frax. There's a yellow flag and it's Dan. Oh, he's struggling now. But he's managed to keep it going. As the Annoyed Gamer's made up a lot of time on CrankyBot through the Mighty Frax disconnection, what happened in qualifying. So let's see, can he have a better run? Can he stay close to CrankyBot? Can he have a chance? 2 out of the 3 at the moment of my podium positions are actually correct, that I predicted, but Gerb's not so much. He's down in 5th, so we can't really, a lot of the factors coming into that though. It's yeah, the Annoyed Gamer is closing in, and the McLaren is starting to make a bit of a gap, a bit more of a gap to the Red Bull. So we could be about to see a Red Bull Ferrari battle for the final podium position. I just really hope this time Annoyed Gamer can keep his cool and not end up near the back end of the points rather than the front. Another best run through that corner, and CrankyBot himself, he's now got a 3-second gap ahead. The pitting, the pitting onto the inters far too early really affected him. I mean, really, it's only 3 laps early, but everyone that pitted early has lost positions. And a lot of time as well. So yeah, a bit of a pull away now. CrankyBot's starting to make a bit of a gap, but Annoyed Gamer will start pulling that back in. We might want to have a little look down the field just to see other battles that may be happening. We've got Maverick and Dan over 9th, but we've now got Annoyed Gamer inside what would usually be the DRS. Now that's another thing that will make it a bit harder, actually a lot harder to get any overtaking done. That's as the Annoyed Gamer doesn't have DRS because of the weather conditions. I'll need to get it done the old-fashioned way as they now begin to catch more lapped traffic. They've already passed the Mighty Frax, now they've got the Haas to get through, who I don't think has disconnected, so he'll need to get out the way for the leaders. See, it doesn't seem, he's got an X though, so I don't know, maybe he has that, he's let both through, not exactly in the cleanest way, but they're through. But that has really allowed the Annoyed Gamer, who breaks. Oh, no way! CrankyBot's into the pits. Did he get damaged? No, he didn't. He just pitted. That's strange. I thought he would go to the end. Gerb's having to pass Mighty Frax. Yeah, the AI gets out of the way, no problem there. I don't think the Haas did, maybe he did, that's strange. But now CrankyBot is about 2 seconds behind. Oh, we just caught the lateness of that one. He slides it up the outside and then takes the inside for turn 2. And Skipper gets past. That's for 6th place. Nice move by Fifi, just getting through. His teammate, however, though, is in a clear demanding lead. And Annoyed Gamer now shouldn't have any issue, unless they actually do need to pit again. Shouldn't have any issue keeping this 3rd place. He just needs to keep it absolutely clean. There's only a few laps to go. I thought he was coming out the pits there, and I was almost sure that CrankyBot must have had damage and that's why he pitted. But that obviously isn't the case. Skipper, I think, struggling a bit as well now, so that's going to... And Gerb's actually into the pits onto new inters. So, interesting. We'll see, it may turn out to be correct. Maybe they do need to go on the inters again, or what I'm now suspecting is they have overheated the tyres when they were out when it was too dry and worn them so much that they weren't going to last to the end, so they had to pit, whilst others that waited until it actually needed the inters, I think, and that means they pitted later as well, which means the tyre wear will be less. But they won't have overheated their tyres, at least not as easily, and therefore I think can stay out to the end. I think that may be what's happening here, which means Skipper and Milo both, I think, might have to pit again. The top 3 pitted at the exact right time as CrankyBot picks up the 3-second penalty. So does Fifi, and yeah, I think he's kind of maximised his position considering everything that's happened in this race, especially early on, and of course the rain. Fifi's done an excellent job. Annoyed Gamers used the strategy to perfection to get himself on the podium for now. Is there a 21 second gap behind? Maybe also Annoyed Gamer put on a kind of wet setup because he is quick in these wet conditions. It just seems like he has now got the pace now that the inters are the tyre of choice. Milo, he's still out though, considering that some of the others that pitted at the same point as him have pitted. He's not doing too badly. Skipper seems to be struggling, but his teammate not so much. Gibbs should be pulling away for one. I think he might be quicker at this point, and also he's got fresher tyres. Although that doesn't seem to be helping CrankyBot. Yes, he's pulling away from, or pulling away, keeping the gap to Fifi, but he is actually losing time. He started the game a bit back, but started to lose time, or was losing time, to the Ferrari 20 seconds in the front of him. A full pit stop. Maverick, he's catching Dan, so this is the closest battle on the track. Actually it's not, but that's outside the point. Sorry Callie, you're 27 unfortunately seconds behind the points, but even with so few laps to go, anything could still happen. Game could still throw out a safety car if something happens, which would bunch it up, or at least it would attempt to bunch it up. There'd be a bit of a difficulty as there needs to be 2 clear laps at the end. I don't suspect that will happen. What I suspect could happen what I suspect could happen is any incidents that may happen in front. As a few cars are starting to get a little closer to each other, because anybody could have a mistake anywhere, especially in the S's, which is what makes this track so challenging, especially in that area, as Bogorowski found out earlier in the race. And that's the Renault gets past the Williams. That's very hopeful 1-2 that I would love to have seen, and that Ainz was hoping for in the chat at the beginning of qualifying. Well, that was paid to the end in around lap 7, lap 8, but even Kali looks like he's not going to get points. There we go. There must have been a mistake by Gerbs, because Skipper... no, there must have been a mistake by Skipper, because Gerbs has now got by. And there was actually still a relatively big gap there, as the two racing points are now much closer to each other as well. So that's about a 2-second gap there. We could see them fighting over 7th place. But of course the Red Bull's still not pulling away too much from this one. And I believe that the McLaren must have had a bit of an issue as well. He's now 10 seconds off of Prof, and he's got an Annoyed Gamer right behind him, less than a second behind. So let's have a look at this. This is a battle for second place in the race. I'm not sure what happened. There's a yellow somewhere. I think it must have been Maverick. He's falling off the back of Dan. You would usually have the DRS. He had a bad exit, but the McLaren had a worse exit. Let's see. He's using his ERS. That's the only tool you still have available. 3 laps to get past the McLaren. He's guaranteed the 3rd place, so does he want to risk too much? I did also say that Skipper is struggling. I think we've got proof of that. Oh yeah, we definitely have proof of that as he slides and almost has his teammate in his gearbox. I think Skipper's given the place. He's pulled off so far there. He's given Milo the better run. Skipper essentially given the place to his teammate, who goes up into 7th, but Gerbs has made a massive gap now in 6th. I don't see that being caught back up. So let's get back onto the battle on the podium. It's still a 20-second gap. Broff has got this one in the bag at the moment as he pulls away. I'm not sure what has happened, but he was quicker anyway, but that's about 4 seconds that the McLaren lost in the previous lap. We're now about to start the penultimate lap with these two, and the Annoyed Gamer has got an excellent run through the final corner. He's pulled out the slipstream early, but that should be fine with how much of a strike we have here. One of the longest on the calendar, and Annoyed Gamer gets through. Can he brake on time? Make sure he does. Yes, he does, and that's him got the 2nd position, but I don't think the McLaren's going to give up that easily if he can do anything about it, that is. Annoyed Gamer's just flowing away. He's already a 2nd up the road, and there's only been 2 corners since the overtake happened. That means that Annoyed Gamer is very quick in the wet, and that this McLaren is really struggling. Has he got damage? Let's have a look. No, he doesn't have damage, but Annoyed Gamer is just much quicker, but won't be able to challenge for the win. Prof is way out in the lead now. Skipper falling behind his teammate. Gerbs, massive gap. There's gaps galore. There's nothing going on now on track. So let's see I think let's watch Prof take us on the final lap. On board. In the wet, as it's getting wetter and wetter on these intermediates, 10 laps old. Let's see. Breaking into turn 1, gets the apex nicely. Turn 2, just being very careful. No need to bin it now. Down the second of what would be a DRS straight, breaking the 100-metre board, which actually I would have thought it's a little late in the wet, but yeah, makes the apex, makes another apex. It looks like, just so we go off here, yeah, Skipper's had an off, and that actually might give Dan a go in the final. We've missed a couple of corners of our onboard. Prof now going to see how he handles his final section of S's for this race. It would be absolutely unbearable if something went wrong there, but he's got through. The AlphaTauri now coming in his final run through the stadium. We'll see the Mexican fireworks, confetti going off as he passes through the stadium, through the final corner, onto the pit straight, and takes his first, I believe, win. His first win in C5 and the first win in the RLH, I am sure. And Annoyed Gamer, he won't be annoyed tonight. He takes second place. Brilliant strategy call from him. And the only one that I got right for the podium was the McLaren of R. Smith. Way behind, I think we have Cranky. He started pulling in actually late on, but it's not going to do him any good. And the gaps are massive, so we'll go and see if Dan can get past Skipper. Skipper's still struggling. Can Dan steal an extra couple of points on the last lap? Skipper almost off track. Dan trying to push through, but it was not going to work. Can he get a better run out of the final corner? Oh, he almost spins it into the wall on the inside of the final corner, and that allows Skipper to keep the place. Milo stayed ahead. Gerbs in 6th as well. Maverick, he's also been challenged for that final point. He's really started to struggle as well, but he doesn't have a penalty and the guy behind does, so Maverick will stay in 10th, and Hassel doesn't get lapped, so it's the final one to finish. Yeah, that was extremely interesting. Well done to the Prof. Well done to Annoyed Gamer. What a strategy to get himself that win. Not that second place. The Prof just made his actually a strategy that really helped him stay out until the moment that it's the right tyre. That's what they always say. You have to be on the right tyres at the right time in changeable conditions, and it was Prof that acted like a professor and got that one spot on. Some others as well. Annoyed Gamer got it pretty much spot on, and so did the McLaren, even though he started losing time at the end. Oh, look at that, the sun's back out. CrankyBot didn't get that perfectly, and ends up finishing almost half a second behind Prof. PVA's in 5th, good job from him. Gerb 6th, Milo come back from what happened at the very beginning, same for Skipper, good job from both of them. Dan again come back from what happened at the beginning, 9th, Maverick 10th, the other comeback. His 11th, got close to getting some points was what it looked like, but according to that, he's, wow, we had 28 seconds worth of penalties, that's why. And Callie finishes 12th, and I'm actually sure the other two were still around. The Mighty Franks I don't think was, and Bogarovsky the only DNF in this changeable condition race, which is a shame in the S's quite early on in the race. But once again, C5, it's only the second time I've commentated on the C5 race, and that is even only with 15 for actually in the race it was 14 and may have only been 13 after a very early stage, still put on a really interesting and entertaining race for me and for all the viewers. So I thank all the drivers for that. Excellent job from Prof. Also excellent job from Anna Smith in third, and also the Annoyed Gamer in second. But as you can probably hear in the background, there's a lot of noise now, so I will be heading off now, and I'll hopefully see you sometime next week when we're actually at Russia, Sochi, for races there. See you then.